If you'd like to comment, you can, or we can go to the next question, Chief.
I don't know what Edward got applause for, but whatever he said, I agree with. No, I said I didn't want to have a half-baked idea on how to solve DISD, and Mike, what I heard you say was that you were going to get the big city mayors to go to Austin to lobby, you were going to get the elderly to volunteer, and there are some good discussions going on about public education. I don't know if ultimately they're going to be the answer or not, charter schools, competition, but I fundamentally I agree with Ron that I think DISD does a far better job than we give them credit for, number one. Number two, in almost every case, if you have parents involved with their child's education, they can get a good education in DISD. Number three, there are things that the City of Dallas can do that will have a direct impact on schools, and that's to foster neighborhood-based after-school programs where those kids who don't have a good family support system can go into something that looks like a good family support system where they have mentors and adults and people working with the kids in their homework, give them access to computers. I've seen in the most challenged neighborhoods in Dallas, kids pass a tax test 100% through these after-school programs. And when I decided to run for office, I didn't want to be the guy that said that I had all the answers to change the economy in South Dallas when there hadn't been an answer in 40, 50 years. I will do the best I can to make things better. And I believe that education is extraordinarily important. If those 160,000 DISD kids don't do better than worse, then we're in real trouble as a city.
Chief, this next one's for you as well, but I don't want to interrupt your applause. Do you support inclusion of a specific financial package for the University of North Texas and Dallas's infrastructure program? If there's a 2014 bond proposal for the people of Dallas?
One of the things I did when I was retired was work with the University of North Texas Dallas campus, and I think it's the only public university in the city of Dallas. It sits on 240 beautiful acres at Camp Wisdom and Houston School Road, and it provides a great opportunity to provide higher education for kids, in many cases, who wouldn't have a chance to go to college. And it also provides a catalyst for economic development in the southern part of the city. And to me, it's an area that the city ought to invest in infrastructure and utilities so that we can expedite the growth in that area.
Okay.
Was that the answer?
That's the answer. Councilmember Litinsky, as a nonpartisan elected official, why did you decide to get involved with the 2006 Harriet Miller Tony Goolsby race, including what seemed to be an official mailing from you? You remember that race?
Yeah, I remember that race, and I also know it's an urban myth that I was involved in that race. There was a letter that went out that referenced what was called the Litinsky Plan for the Cotton Belt Rail Line. And that was the reference in that letter. There was no endorsement by me in either party, either of the parties that were in the race. So that's my answer.
That plan, is that in a proposal in the current legislative session? The Litinsky for Cotton Belt?
No, that was adopted by the city of Dallas. It was at that point, I think it was proposed to be included in a House bill in the legislative session at that point, and it died, I think, in the Calendars Committee.
But it died. Oh, okay. Great.
But the plan still exists.
Okay. Thank you. Moving right along. Mr. Opa.
Yes.
In the past, you stated that your vision of your role as Dallas mayor was to seek ways to ensure equitable, fair, and just allocation of city resources to deserving areas. What criteria would you use to ensure that occurred?
One of the best approach to public fund is a concept called highest and best use. And the highest and best use concept is what is the highest return you can get in an invested dollar. If you look right now, 80% of our tax revenue comes from the northern sector. So about 20% comes from the southern sector. If you were to consistently apply resources to the southern sector for the next 5 years, you will see their contribution to the tax base begin to increase to where the pressure on the north will reduce to about 60%. There are 4 zip codes that I pulled information on: 75230, Walnut and 75. The average household income in that neighborhood is $72,000. And then you go to the southern sector, and then you pull the zip code 75232, which is Hampton and Camp Wisdom. The average household income there is $62,000. So there's a difference of $10,000. But when you look at the median home value on the north side is $295,000. So for every household income, you have a 4.01 multiplier benefit. While on the southern sector, you have 1.9. If you were to engage in a neighborhood improvement program to where that value, that 1.9 might raise to 3 point, you would have increased the city's tax base by more than 25%. So it benefits the city to begin to look at opportunities such as those to improve neighborhood conditions so that the real estate, which constitutes more than 45% revenue to this tax base, begin to benefit from that. That's what I meant by resource allocation. And the best way to look at it is the highest and best use concept, which if you go to the municipal journal, you can understand what that concept is. In simple terms, means what gives you the highest return for an invested dollar in case of public resources. Thank you.